What up? What up? What's city? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the Wrap Up, aka Kicking It with the Cousins. It's your boy Tony, as always, and I'm no wait, how's that go? It's your boy, whatever, whatever. And as always, I'm joined by the people's mailman, my mailman, your mailman, everybody's mailman, Oz. What's
The
going on, bro?
people's mailman in the house. Brother, I am excited. I've been thinking about this live all day today as I was delivering the mail. I'm just hyped up. I'm in a mood today. You might catch some craziness come out of my mouth today. So let's have a good time. And we're gonna do it good, bro. We're gonna do it proper like. So what's up, man? What's on the agenda tonight, brother?
We have a bunch of things, and I like screwing up the intro on purpose. It's almost like become a that's like my badge of honor. When the music's like finishing, I'm just thinking, I'm like, how can I just like I just try to make you laugh, but yeah. Anywho, James, what's going on, my brother? Appreciate you joining
Oh,
us.
wait. Let me do this right.
Oh, go ahead.
James Luman in the building, baby. What's up, baby? How you doing?
There
Thursday
you
night with the Primos. Love it.
there you go. So yeah, man, we got a couple topics. Obviously, we'll talk about our latest guest, but we got some scammers. We got dudes being hurt. We got guys with guns. We got card shows. We got lawsuits. Man, we have a plethora of topics.
So
So
you would say we have a plethora, senor.
we do, yes, we do have a
Jefe.
yeah. But Mookie, what's going on? Cuz
Shout out to Mookie.
thanks for joining us, my man. But so that's see, this is why the chat, man, it makes me laugh. But we'll get to that comment in a minute. But yeah, man. So let's talk about our guy Daryl, man. He came through, aka Dr. Collectible.
Yes.
Young. I have here some notes, man. Young hustler in the hobby. The one thing that he said that stood out to me is like, I'm trying to figure out how to make it in this hobby without selling cards. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna try and do
Yeah.
my thing and
When he said that, bro, that kind of just hit me. I was like, damn. There's being an entrepreneur and doing your thing. You usually think about selling cars, being a dealer, going out the flip game. And he was like, listen, man, I'm trying to make money without selling a card. It's cool. He goes, I love my collection. So I want to be able to keep my collection. That's what means the most to me. So I'm going to try to figure out a way in the hobby to go ahead and make money outside of that. That way I can keep my stuff and just keep building it. And I was just blown away,
yeah.
some of the things that he was saying being so young, but way far advanced. Like I honestly, at the end of the interview, I was like, dude, no lie. Like you're going places, bro. Like if you keep your pedal to the metal and keep focused, like we say, keep focused, keep positive, keep collecting, he's going to be doing some big stuff
Yeah.
in the near future.
Yeah. I thought of you when he said about figuring out how to generate income or whatever in the hobby without selling the cards. I was like, man, that's right up your alley because I know how much it hurts every
Yeah,
time. Well,
my ears perked up. I was like, yo, what you got? Let me know what you doing, because I definitely
you know how
I
you
need
could
to
do it.
know.
We could
Mm,
set up a grill outside these shows and just sell barbecue and
pinchos.
stuff. Yeah, pinchos, man. Like for those of you who don't know, what is it? Shish kebab. Yeah, that's the
No, it's a pincho.
yeah, I know, but I
No
mean
goddamn shish kebab. Get out of here with that
the
nonsense.
translation.
Everybody knows what a pincho is. Even the commish knows what a pincho is.
I don't know. He's googling it right now as we speak.
The
But
dialect.
yeah, but yeah, that's what we gotta do, bro. Just set up a grill outside these, because you know what? Oftentimes, I like when you think about what can make a show, we always think about the lighting and this and that. But dude, like there was the show. What was that a few weeks ago? One of the complaints a guy was saying in the hallway was like, "Yo, they ain't got no food up in here." You don't think about that, but it's like you
Nah.
can generate some. Obviously
Yeah.
there's logistics to it, but I mean, if there's food to be had, I mean, dude, and
Especially
yeah.
like when you're a dealer, bro, and you
Mhm.
get there first thing in the morning, you're there at like 8 o'clock, sometimes 7:30, and the show doesn't end to 5:30. And you didn't, obviously you're rushing, you may forget to pack a lunch or have something. So you got to have things available to be able to eat. So that is very important. But that's one thing that people forget about.
Yeah, here's a free tip to the promoters because I have a little bit of experience with that because with running tournaments where we have the staff that's sitting there all day running the clocks and running the courts. First thing in the morning, they work for us to say so we treat them to them, but as like promoter. I'm like, hey man, look, if you're interested, we got like a package. We can bring you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, however it is, and something like that. And I think the dealers would appreciate it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. I
but
agree. Dealers and obviously the buyers as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
yeah. But yeah, man. So again, man, big thanks to Daryl for coming out. I'll be actually I gotta put that interview up so you guys can see the video version of it because the one thing he had that Superboy, it was like a Game Boy, but it played Super Nintendo games.
yeah,
So see, like the commission's looking it up. I told you.
a
But yeah,
pincho.
yeah, that was cool though.
It's like a pincho, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Pincho.
yes, sir. Yeah. So look that up.
It'll pronounce pincho.
Right, right. Look
Pinche
that.
way.
Yeah, there you go. Look that up, and like I said, that'll be a really cool thing to add to the show. But before we get to this next topic, let me run through some of these comments. James says, "Oz makes me feel like running out of a tunnel."
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, the commission's asking me what is a plethora. And we got breaking news. Steve Splenda is going to be at the Natty Daddy.
What? Stop
Let's
it. Don't play with me,
go.
Mr. Splendor, Mr. Sweetness. You going for real, for real?
Sweet Steve
I'm
is
gonna have to
hitting.
start working out now. You gonna try and make me look bad.
You guys are gonna have a pose off. You know, when we have the trade night, it's gonna be you and him in a pose off. So we're gonna see we're gonna see how you guys been working out.
Uh,
So but let's transition to something that is kind of funny. It just came up over the last day. Yeah, today, right?
I think
Today.
so.
Yeah. Our girl Courtney from Reckless Cards posted about, and this guy seems to be part of a conglomerate of sorts. But
Mhm.
82-year-old scammer, dude selling basically, and this is I'm glad Splenda's here because this is right up his alley. And
He's a
my
scammer?
man's eh, not scamming, but he's well versed in the what's it, the hanky of the
The
hobby.
hanky, the
Yeah.
hanky,
Yeah.
the
So
dark arts of
apparently,
the hobby.
yeah. So apparently this dude is part of a group that was basically submitting a Jordan. They got a 10 PSA. The Jordan comes back, they crack it out, they put it in a slab, send that same Jordan back, rinse, recycle, repeat. So no, Steve, I'm not saying you are a scammer, sir. I'm saying that you are uh well versed in the world of people who do scam. All
You're
right.
calling out the scamming,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah. Don't be
You're
so
calling out the hanky panky with your
yeah, we should
fellow alumni.
there you go. But yeah, so this dude was basically sending the same Jordan, 1, 2 Jordans, whatever it is. They get it back and they crack it and send
All
it
right,
again.
so for example, he gets the Jordan, sends it to PSA. PSA comes back. One of them was graded an actual 10. So he
Yeah,
figured out a way to crack it out the slab,
yeah.
use the actual PSA label, put it into a fake slab with an older Jordan or one that wasn't a PSA 10.
Yeah, I don't even know if they put in a fake slab or just put the fake card in the real slab
No, they
and
said fake slab.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
whatever it
so but
is, but
they
yeah,
had the real label in
yeah,
a fake slab and then just put either an older Jordan and maybe even a fake Jordan that looked like a 10 in there, and then go ahead, send the original back to PSA to get graded again, and then
yeah,
you continue to crack it out, put it back, and these guys, I think it was like $800,000
yeah.
over 4
And
years.
bro, right now, a lot of us, myself included, we're wondering because was it only the Jordan? How many cards did they do it with? Are there other people that do this? How often does this happen? Like, there's no way they're the first and only ones, you know. So yeah, it's yeah, Steve. Steve says he said he's heard of certain auction houses complicit in this type of stuff, selling knowing the slab is card or fugazi. Yeah, I mean these things do happen, and we have another topic here that I found
Speaking
that
of
I
auction houses,
yeah, and that I found that was rather interesting. And I'm glad I didn't make a
got a
purchase.
lot of hanky on tonight, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yo,
Not trying
Steve,
to steal
you're gonna
anybody's
like it,
thunder,
right?
but the hanky is huge tonight in
Yeah,
Cousins.
yeah. It just so happens we have one of these episodes where there's a lot of shenanigans about.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
man. So now I'm like, yo, like how many like are my cars real? Like you don't know, like for real. I'm like, you think like they're only doing it with a Jordan? Like, and how many like whatever? I don't. It doesn't matter. Like if the
Could
card
be
you can just
anything.
keep selling it, it's all good. Like
Yeah, that's tough when it's not a serial number card. or
Yeah.
something with a patch. But even still, even with patches, they'll switch them out and do all kinds of.
Yeah.
Dude, there is nothing these guys won't do. It's the point.
Mhm.
And even when you are on point and you got a PSA slab and you got the number and everything looks legit, it's still not.
Yeah.
So, it sucks. It really does suck, bro. It's like you want to be, have faith in your hobby that everything's on the up and up. But, without the people, without the watchdogs,
Mhm.
to see actually this was card porn and then, they called out something finally for the first time in a while. And then the Dangerous Games podcast, which is Courtney and our
Yeah.
girl, Sarah, Mrs. Squirts.
Yeah.
Um, they basically called it out and exactly what it was, which it just, bro, and this guy, I wanted to say his name. It is 82-year-old Mayo Gilbert McNeil. So if you ever hear that name, that's an 82-year-old man that was scamming your ass.
Yeah. 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 Is he or is he just the face of the who the heck
Yeah,
knows?
he's the
But
face of the conglomerate.
yeah.
It's not never just one.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve says, unfortunately, people just need to be aware the hobby isn't just blindly positive, and even though we wish it was, which leads me like, so we had our own little scare. The commish had a scare, which is perfect timing for this. He had a Coots card, PSA 10, and then he noticed that it didn't have the hologram. Is that what you
Yeah, the
call it?
hologram. It was
Yeah.
an older label. It was like, when they start with like the 1, 2, 3, 4 number,
Mhm.
it was one of the older labels. They didn't have the holograms at that time. I have a couple cards like that. And I remember the first Kobe Bryant rookie card that I got. I didn't get scammed on, but I was charged a hell of a lot more money than it was worth because I didn't do my due diligence, as I like to say.
Right.
I was just happy to get a Kobe Bryant card. This was right after he had passed away, and I had just started, buying cards at that time. So I went to the mall to buy a Kobe Bryant card. No matter what, I was leaving with a rookie card. So I got a PSA 9, got it, way overpaid. And when I got it back and I actually started doing, like, this was months later, I started looking at the slab and then I realized that the hologram was missing. I was like, wait a minute, did this guy get me? So then I the same exact thing that was going
Mhm.
through the commissioner's mind. Is this a legit PSA label with, no hologram? But back in the day, obviously, before they got into the security measures, they had the older labels that there's some collectors that love that older label as well.
Mhm.
It scares me. I mean, everything scares me, honestly, when it comes to this hobby. I love it, but it's like you just can't. Anytime you think everything is legit, bro.
No, it's like every time, like it's like uh when Lucy would pull the ball out
Mhm.
from Charlie Brown every
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
freaking time, man. I'm like, God. I'm like, what are they coming up with next? I was just chilling. Now all of a sudden, I got to worry about, like, again. I mean, it really, like, calls into, like, question all your cards,
Right.
like, easily for me
And
at
then and
least.
then and then but you like I always talk about, you wanna throw icing on the cake, is I finally do send a legitimate card with a legitimate autograph to
Yeah,
PSA to get graded, and they send it back. They kick it back with, "No, no, nah,
yeah.
sorry, we can't slab this." But you'll goddamn slab, multiple Jordans that are fake, whatever.
Yeah, but again, supposedly they didn't slab the fake Jordan. Well,
Nah, I
they
know, it
have,
was
but
yeah,
although it has happened in the past, but
true.
yeah, let's see what some of these things here say. Steve says, when I was real young, my dad got me in the hobby and told me then guys will try to take advantage of you, and that is 1,000% correct. Oz has
Mhm.
uh, fallen victim to that. I'm sure we all have at some point. Where is it at? Manny loves Oz's fit. He's got the AI throwback football jersey there. So
So it's on backwards crisscross style. If
there
you
you
know,
go.
you know.
Yeah, for sure. And Mookie says, he goes, I wonder if Jeremy Lee's robot grader would catch that. Again, who knows? With the way they were doing it, we're switching out the after the fact. So, which by the way, I saw today, the tag launched, like, I saw Jeremy came out. It's like a five. I think you can do like a 5 card deal or something like that. You go and they're gonna be, I guess, starting to roll out. So
And this is all modern cards, right?
yeah, yep, yep,
Is that
yep.
1990 and later or
Depends what
maybe
year. It
2000 or
depends what year.
2000?
It depends what year you were born, what year you consider modern. Because some cats are starting to talk about the '90s or vintage. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, get out of
80s
here.
maybe.
For me, when I think of vintage, it's always 50, 60, and
Oh,
maybe in the
yeah,
70. Like
yeah.
that's what I think. I think there should just be like another like term for that
I'm just
middle
thinking
stuff. But
86, we're now 2023, that's almost 40 years.
yeah,
That's vintage, bro.
yeah,
It is
yeah.
old.
Yes,
Just
I
because
know.
we remember it doesn't make it
I
doesn't make it any less.
yeah. So according to Steve, fun fact: AI wanted to go to Notre Dame and play football. So
Really? I never heard that one.
yeah, I don't
Possible.
know, but so did Randy Moss, and that one hurt young Splinter. Yeah, who knows how that all goes? But yeah, man, it's like I said, it's messed up, bro. I'm like, so, and we're gonna talk about later on. We're going to a show this weekend, and I'm like, but
Yeah.
it'll be business as usual once we get in the building.
Right. And we have a lot of friends. We always go back to Corky, who's like the collector of all things raw,
Mm-hmm,
and the commissioner as well. They like to collect the raw cars. And it's just like one of those things, man. You never know. They'll be like, they'll never fake this. This is a
mm-hmm.
$2 card. It's like, bro, those are the ones that they're gonna be faking. You know what I mean? It's like you can't put anything past anybody. So when you go to the shows and you have these older dealers that have been in the game for years and years and years, there's certain things they're gonna try to go ahead and pass off.
Yeah, man.
I forget who we were talking to. It was the NBA guy.
Mm-hmm.
Was it John?
Yeah.
I guess it was the what was the Magic Johnson
Yep. Yeah.
signature
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a Magic Johnson auto, and it was literally just written. It wasn't even in cursive or anything. It was just written Magic Johnson, and he's like, the guy already knew. Like, I'm pretty sure that the dealer knew that it was a fake, but
Mm-hmm.
he still tried to pass it off for like 200, 250 bucks. And
Yeah.
when John called him out on it, he's like, you know what? Just go ahead and take it and let everybody know that it's a fake. Like,
Right.
bro, come on. You knew
Yeah.
the whole time.
That's exactly the thing, though. Where we talked today, but with the commish, 100 pounds of rocks, 100 pounds of feathers. Like, all right, guy might try to scam a $5,000 card, but don't get it twisted. That a guy's not gonna try and scam $5,001 cards because that'll be less noticeable. Like he's just selling these things off at $1 all day long. People aren't gonna think anything of it. Whereas a
Right.
$5,000 card, you're probably gonna want to look more into it. So
Exactly.
I don't at this point, man. I don't put anything past anybody. Man. Dudes in the hobby are creative.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve and AIH, they taught me to look deeper, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sometimes I gotta give them guys credit. Sometimes I said I don't agree with everything, like
Yeah.
how they, the some of the watchdogs go about stuff, but there's nothing wrong with being, vigilant and
Yeah. Like I always say, if they're doing stuff and pointing things out that have to do with things that are detrimental to the hobby, people scamming, people trimming, people, just doing things that are
uh
nefarious. I'm all for it. When it starts getting into just bashing people to bash and the negativity, then it's like, come on, man.
yeah,
We're all in here to have fun, collect cars, have an escape. And are there assholes out there? Yes. Yes. The hobby is full of them.
yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Manny, not calling
Yeah,
you one.
yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about, this is this is gonna be fun. So we got a guy who's let's got a guy who's hurt, another guy who's hurt, and another guy who's basically suspended. So well, before we get to that, Steve says he goes, "I don't report anything. I just give my true opinion. The hard work done much more smarter people than me." Nah, Steve, you're a genius. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
But let's talk about these guys now. Three guys who basically hyped to the moon when they came out. Right, cards through the roof. Lamelo is hurt. Zion is the thing with Zion is gonna have to be when is Zion not hurt, not when Zion is hurt from now on.
Mhm.
Like because this dude is just like he
Yeah.
is
He
as
might have
they
played a total of maybe like 55 games since he started.
yeah, he's they said he was like Larry Johnson. I don't remember Larry Johnson being out this much.
No, not
Like, I mean, you gotta give
Larry at least got onto the goddamn court.
right, you gotta give grandmama
He was
credit.
yeah, he was grandmama, you know what I mean? Zion just listen, bro. And I really want to see this guy healthy. It sucks because I like his game. He's powerful. He can jump out the
Mhm,
building. He can bully you. Got a jump shot. It's ugly, but
yeah,
it'll suffice.
mhm,
So he can easily average 30 points a game. He's done it. The little bit of time that he's been out there, and just to see those dunks and get a nice steal and a 360 or a nice power dunk on somebody on their head, and it's like now you can't see that, bro, and it sucks, man, because you never know when your body is just going to give out. And he's just a big boy. He's a
mhm.
big dude, and all that weight, so effortlessly. It was almost like Charles Barkley. Charles was a big dude, but Charles
Right.
could get his ass up, but he never got hurt. Charles never got hurt.
No, I don't remember him. I don't
Nah,
remember him
bro.
getting
Charles,
too.
Charles, for as big as his ass was, and he had a big ass. Um, he stayed healthy. You know what I mean? He stayed away from the injuries. And you know, as the time went on, as he got later in the stages, he was shooting
Mhm.
threes, could barely do anything. But for the most part, in his prime, that boy could jump out the building. But the same, you know, it's a shame with Zion that he just can't stay healthy. And like you were talking about, these three guys, Lamelo, Zion, Ja, yo, those were the hobby darlings when it came to basketball. This
Nice.
is right after, you know, Luca and who was it? Luca and Trey were the
Yeah,
two guys.
yeah,
And so Luca obviously has maintained his
yeah,
dominance from that point. But then Trey,
yeah. His dominance to stay up just above 500.
well, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I'm not talking
yeah,
about basketball dominance, you know. But
I know. Well, to me,
Him
it's
and Kyrie, they're a
nonsense.
force to be reckoned with. You know, I still think once they get it all squared away, hopefully, you know, they can work
Yeah,
it out. But yeah, because they've been on and off as far as wins. But that's a powerful duo. You know, they busted our ass, the Sixers, for 42 and 40
yeah,
that one night, so they can go back and forth.
yeah.
But you know, let's talk about
Wait,
Lamelo, bro. Go
before
ahead.
you get to that, so I'll just give you some numbers. Zion's base PSA 10 Prism market cap of $1.99 million.
Hmm.
Last low price was $88 and a whopping 1 cent. So
Say
fall
what?
from grace just a little
Say
bit.
what?
Yeah, for sure. Before we get to LaMelo, let me get some of these comments. We got Big John saying, "What up, cousins? What's going on?"
What up, Big John?
Look at this guy, Mr. Victory Investments. He's watching on the
Ooh.
treadmill. I don't know if he's actually running on the treadmill. He could just be sitting on it, but you know,
Wait till you get to his next one.
well, we'll see. But I appreciate you, Sean, out there. Steve says, "You know, people can call me a hater. These young guys they don't want it. We were spoiled in the '90s and early 2000s. It's a different game today. And yes, absolutely, we do remember when the one time Charles threw a dude through a window. That was big time. Listen, man, Charles should be happy, and Jordan, all those guys that there was not the
Social media.
yeah, man, because stuff would have been a little different. Our
You know what I
heroes.
love? Like Charles was the anti-hero. You had Jordan, who
Mhm.
everybody wanted to be like, and Chuck was like, "Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not a role model." And they did the commercials just like that. You know, it was funny
Mhm.
because you had him as Sir Charles, where
Yeah.
he would, you know, get dressed up and be
Yep.
all elegant, you know, and be
Yeah.
like at the polo grounds riding the horse and this Sir Charles. And then at the same time, he'd be like, "Nah,
Mhm.
I'm not a role model. Don't
Yeah.
follow me. Don't tell your kids
Mhm.
about me. Don't look up to me. I'm not signing autographs. I'm not, you know what I mean?"
Yeah.
So Chuck was just like, I'm me, I'm hard, you know, like whatever. I was
Yeah.
gonna dunk it down your throat. You can love me or hate me.
Yeah, he's kept it real, man. And to like it's wild in this day and age of like just if you say the wrong thing, man, you're gone. He just says stuff out there and he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'll be back.
And
So,
and you know, not for nothing, but Jordan on the down low was jealous of Barkley when
because
it
of
came
that.
to that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Jordan had to toe the line. He, you know, in order to sell his Nikes and to make sure he was making the, you know, everything proper
Yeah.
when it came to all the sponsorships, he had to do everything just right. And Barkley just didn't give a shit. Barkley would just say whatever the hell he felt like it, and Jordan would look at him like, "Damn, man, that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking, but I can't say that right now."
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, dude, I got sneakers to sell. And
Yeah,
Charles is like, whatever.
yeah. They, you know, they would also, you know, always say about Jordan, he never got political or anything, and he'd be like, you
Yeah.
know, Republicans buy
He's like,
sneakers
well,
just the
yeah.
same way as Democrats, so I'm not
Yeah,
even
man.
going to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And to this day, I mean, they had a falling out after the one time Chuck called him out as far as being the owner, with the way that
Yeah,
Charlotte was going. And you know how Jordan is, man. And there was like long time friendship got thrown out the window. So
yeah,
they is what it is. But so LaMelo, aka Jason Kidd at best.
not even, aka hypey hype of the hypey. Bro, do you remember when you first started? You were doing the breaks, and it was all about everything was Lamelo Ball.
Uh-huh.
Everything was Lamelo Ball.
All day.
and it was LaMelo there, and in football, it was the golden boy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
Damn, I'm forgetting his name now.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Those were the two big guys where whenever it came into
Uh-huh.
breaks, like if you hit one of those, the guys were going crazy. It was just like
Yeah.
the bang, bang, skeet, skeet. And I'm like, oh my God, I got a LaMelo Ball rookie. Oh my God, I got a LaMelo Ball rookie. And everybody just going crazy.
Yeah.
And them shitty ass prisms were worth,
That's what I was looking here. They
yeah,
were 229,000 market cap. This is just a base prism, obviously.
yeah,
Some of the stuff, but last sold price $75. So yeah, I mean these things, and yeah, you can say, well, he got hurt, but I just again with these guys, man, the hype is so high and so crazy, and it's just tough to a maintain and b let alone surpass that so that your values can go
yeah.
up. And unfortunately, though, man, as a hobby, we don't learn. We'll just do it again next week. So it's crazy.
So
But
him and his brother now Lonzo
yeah,
is probably done. So the
yeah,
balls are not looking too swollen
they're
right now.
empty,
They're kind of looking a
a
little
little flat.
deflated. Them balls,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not full of anything.
Nah, and hey, I give them credit, man. They made it to the league. They
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
made a
that
name
was
for
one thing.
themselves. And
The dad,
yeah,
he had a plan. The other brother didn't make it, but for what it's worth,
yeah,
they got into the league. They when they're playing, they're good. They're not all stars. They're not superstars.
yeah,
Somehow Lamelo got into the conversation because of his Instagram game, like and social media. That all of a sudden he
yes,
was the next big thing, and I'm looking at it like, bro, and like you said, Jason Kidd at best,
yeah.
if that.
If that, Manny said Oz brings out the bang bang
Dang,
skeet
skeet,
skeet.
skeet.
For you guys who don't know, that's who are they? Mamba
Yeah,
breaks.
Mamba breaks.
Mamba breaks, dude. I used to watch that because they're in the West Coast.
Jeez.
And yeah, them guys like they do the normal thing where they're hyping up the cars, but at least like their stuff, I think they open mostly high end stuff, so it's not like they're
Yeah.
getting all crazy over. But yeah, man, them dudes have a ball, man. They
Yeah,
just
we used to watch that at night because
yeah, it
they're
was
on the
fun.
West Coast.
It
Yeah,
was fun. It was fun. It's like entertainment. I didn't buy into the breaks, but watching people what they were buying and like I said, most of the stuff that they sell is high end and they, you know, you were bound to get something dope at some point during the night,
yeah,
but they would go crazy. I haven't watched in a while now, because like I used to find myself it'd be like 1, 2 in the morning. I'm still watching these guys ripping product because like this is like that's just no bueno. But last but not least, let's get to Ja. Ja got we have like I said, I know he's gonna get his put in timeout, I guess, but I didn't think it's the death sentence that some people are making it out to be. But I'll let you give
yeah.
your take on it, and then we
And
can
I don't call it a death sentence. Obviously, I think he's young. He's 24 years old. He got his whole career ahead of him. The way you were putting it, Tony, is with you can compare it to Allen Iverson. When
yeah,
Allen Iverson was young, he was doing his thing. He started getting his cornrows, his tattoos, and he became public enemy number one. The baggy clothes, the hip hop. He came out with that. Or didn't come out with the album because he's here swearing, talking about guns, going out to the clubs every night, drinking, showing up to practice. And when he did show up to practice, he wasn't really practicing.
yeah,
When he got out on the court, it was
sure,
110%. You knew he was going to give it all, but after the game, before the game, you never knew what you were going to get with Allen.
yeah.
Which sucks because if he could have just focused and worked a little bit harder and maybe worked out, who knows what could have been, with Allen Iverson.
Well, one thing about that not many people mention. So, like when he would dog it in practice, like they're like, well, it doesn't matter because he was killing it in the real time. Like, yeah, he was, but the chemistry of the team, if you're dogging it, the sets that you run, the plays, all that stuff, when it's time to go, yeah, you're dropping 40, but maybe you don't have to drop 40. You could drop 25, and then George Lynch and these other cats are doing other things. But if you're dogging it in practice, that affects the team as a whole. Like I don't, and we still see that we're superstars, and you often wonder, like, I'm not saying you got to go 110% because I get that, but if you're hungover, you're just dogging, you're just walking around, and dudes are like, yo, what the hell is this problem? What's good with this guy?
Yeah,
Inherently, that's going to affect the team and the success. So,
right, right. And that's why I took Larry Brown to go ahead and, you know, put put his ass into shape and get that 1 year, that magical year. He just surrounded him with a bunch of defensive players and Aaron McKee,
Yeah,
Tyrone Hill, and it was just,
yeah.
you know,
But
George Lynch.
yeah, yeah. But spinning it back to Ja, I mean, these guys are title contenders now, and like you said, I mean, he's gonna be looking at probably a 50 game suspension.
Yeah, so
So
basically, I heard somewhere, I don't know the validity of it. Basically, in the CBA collective bargaining agreement of the NBA, if you're caught with a firearm on a plane and you're found to have had that happen, that's an automatic 50-game suspension. Now, they're talking about a couple games here, a couple games there, and they're just trying to work it out for the mental health and this, that, and the third. But they're
yeah,
really doing an investigation to see where did Ja. Obviously, they had the video of him flashing the gun. Did he have the gun with him on the plane? They were on the road. Steven Adams, the center for their team,
yeah,
just about a week earlier was talking, addressed the team about how they need to stop going out on the road during, road games, going out and really focusing on being better teammates and stuff. And he was specifically, they had the meeting for everybody, but it was specific to John Morant.
yeah,
And then just a week later, this shit happens, and it's like, dude, you
yeah,
got dude, out of anybody in the NBA other than say Luca, this guy has everything in front of him to be the next face of the league,
yeah,
and you're gonna throw it all away trying to be a fake
yeah.
gangster.
I told you that the only dude if I would ever dabble would be in his stuff, just because, like I told you, he reminds me of Iverson.
Mhm.
And now I'm like, I mean, now I think his stuff just freezes. Like I
Yeah,
don't think it falls off a cliff. It just kind of just stays stagnant for a while.
but if
Maybe.
everybody's trying to
Yeah.
sell,
Oh, if everybody's trying to sell, then man, there's gonna be stuff's
y
gonna fall through the cracks. Like if people
yeah,
are gonna start selling, like I said, I don't really mess with too much with
I
this
like,
stuff,
if they
but
come out saying, like, say tomorrow, they come at the end of the week, they come out saying 50-game suspension for Ja.
mhm,
That means no playoffs. That means Memphis
yeah,
is going, you know what I mean? Like, you let your, not only yourself, your family, you let your team down, you let Memphis down, and you let the entire
yeah,
NBA down, bro, and all the fans out there.
yeah,
Like, cause you got a lot of fans. Everybody loved John Moran,
yeah.
and now you go out here and do this dumb shit, like immature.
Yeah, I think it'll just kind of be one of those cases where mental health will come into play somehow. And I mean, if they drop the hammer on them, then they do. And because the rules are the rules. If you had but who knows? I don't know. Actually, we're talking about it here, man. He says, he goes, I was a dealer last week and I had a car show and everybody was bringing. See that's hey. I don't know. I'd be buying. I don't know about you, Manny, but if the price is right, I would be buying just because I like this. I think he comes back from this. I really do.
That's the thing, like, this isn't something that it's, like you said, a death sentence for him. He's a young kid. He just needs to grow the F up and
Yeah.
realize what he has in front of him. He just right now, he's walking around because he had a couple nice dunks on people. He could jump out the building, do whatever he wants on
Mhm.
the court. He just thinks he's Superman out there, and he
Yeah.
can't be touched. When you're doing dumb shit like that, after, you know the rules, and
Yeah.
then you're stupid enough to go ahead and flash the gun after you just, a 17-year-old kid said they were playing a pickup game and that knocked him down, punched him like 17 times, and then pulled out a gun on his ass.
Yeah.
And then you come out and pull a gun
Yeah,
just
dude, he
messing around
was,
like,
he was lit. He's at the club. He
but
got the
bro,
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. But dude, you already have one case going.
Right.
Why the listen, why the fuck would you pull out a gun on a video? Like that shit, it's like, dude, where okay, your dad be talking all that shit, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
and all your teammates, like where are they to keep control of your ass? Like for real, man.
Listen, but if you have to have a team meeting at some point, like you become fed up with it because it's like, bro, like I'm a grown man. You know what? Then just go off. Like after a while, like some of those guys get tired of it. Like, this is like, no, you're messing with my money. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Then just get out of here. Like,
Yeah. If you don't care, then
because-
I don't care. And
yeah,
then it
exactly.
becomes
Yes,
a
yes, yes,
oh man.
exactly, man. Because you
That's
can
so
only
frustrating, dude.
Yeah, you can only you don't think Steven Adams, like he knows that this guy, his my title hopes are riding with this guy, but I can only do so much.
Mhm.
So it's like,
And then you have the normal Joe Schmo like us, like we're fans. We couldn't even imagine doing any of that shit that he does out on the court.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And he's getting paid millions of dollars to do it. And we just can't fathom, like, why the hell would you just throw it all away For what?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
for
I don't
what?
know.
Like, what does that do? That what
For
is
the
that
gram.
pulling? I get, but what is the gun pulling it out? What does that do for you?
Yeah, you just,
Is that
it
cute?
just shows
Is
you
that
for like you're for the streets, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
for
It's
the
just
streets? You know,
and then you know what the funny thing that came out of that was somebody made, I think, did I send it to you that
yeah,
somebody
the
made the meme?
Eminem
Yeah, they're like, yo, because he went to private school and all this stuff. So yeah,
Clarence.
commission. I mean, yeah, the job, like, yeah, if he doesn't play, then I think then you know you'll see some values drop in the off season for sure. And I just, like I said, I don't think it's a death sentence. And if you're into that buying and flipping and all that good stuff, then maybe that is an opportunity. So, but let's move on to the next thing, man. This was something that I've talked about that I'm glad I didn't dip the toe in just yet. Cause you
Just
want to
yet.
talk about falling values? This right here, bro. Video game collecting. I know that they're doing VHS. We always talk about alternative markets and things like that. That seems to be a little more. I think it's like more fun than sports cars. I feel like sports cars sometimes can be like stressful. Where like this other stuff is just like Stranger Things or whatever. Like you're good with it. Like you just collected it. It has nothing to
But
do.
you love it. You like
Yeah,
seriously, like if you're gonna be collect whatever it is, whether it's wrestling, Stranger Things, video games,
yeah,
whatever you have that nostalgic feeling for, and you're getting it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, bro, you love that. So even if it's zero worth nothing,
yeah.
it means something to you, no matter what.
Hmm.
You put it in the slab, and then it's like it really makes it special now. Look at this sticker that I got. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's dope, right? And you're like, oh snap.
yeah, yeah. So with these alternative things, that's exactly how I look at it. I don't even worry about too much. I mean, I would love for them to be worth millions of dollars, but I
Of
know that
course.
they're not. But so yeah, dude, I started freaking driving down the video game, graded video game market, and I haven't bought anything, but I've been wanting to buy the Tyson for a while now.
Hmm.
Do some research, man. I come to find out. So basically, there's two major graders. One is VGA, Video Game Authority, or some authentication or something like that.
That
And
was
then
the original, right?
that was the original. And then the other one is WADA. I'm not sure what that stands for, but basically those dudes, they came out, and I'm looking, man. These guys are involved in some weird stuff, man. Where like there's now lawsuits for market manipulation with some of them guys. Supposedly some of those original games that were had big auction prices, as people track down who bought them and what other ties they have to other people and other businesses. Seems to be kind of those, I know you, you know me, and that type of stuff. And where, like anything else, these things ballooned up during the pandemic, and now they're coming down pretty heavy. So I'm still watching some, because I mean I like the way they look when they're in that kind of like casing thing that they do.
Hmm.
But I won't be buying one anytime soon, because I think this is something that basically was a market that it was like, what's the next thing? Because like I said, now we see VHS, and after VHS, what's it going to be? Like, we're just running out of things. I think it's going to start to be like cassette decks, cassette tapes, stuff like that. Uh, but
Phones.
yeah, whatever. Yeah, I know. Now we're seeing iPhones. It's just whatever, whatever. I
Yeah.
mean,
Anything that takes you back to your childhood or years, you know what I mean, that has a feeling of nostalgia, they could easily slab it up, throw a grade on it, and make it a collectible.
yeah,
Where, you know, you talk about but when you start reading the article or you listen to it and you watch the video and everything that they're talking about them pumping up the market and doing all these things, and then the grading company and the auction company being in cahoots.
the guy who did the thing was very thorough in detail. I will
Yeah,
give him that. He
yeah.
really did
But
his job.
literally, the guy that's responsible for this bubble back in the was it the early 80s, he was, I believe, 84, he was actually responsible for the coin bubble that burst back in the day, because they came out with grading. There was again similar, there was a grading company that did coins, and this guy said, you know what, nah, we're going to make another grading company, and we're going to go
Mm.
ahead and make that the legit grading company. And then once they did that and started advertising it and putting it to the public in the early 80s, and coin collectors started seeing these graded coins, then the obviously the coins went through the roof as far as price wise, and they just kept going up and up and up, and then eventually it fell down. And obviously, similar to what just happened with the video, and similar to the card market, bro. We talk about video
Yeah.
games, we're talking about coins, but the boom, you know, again, there was
Yeah.
auction houses, Ken Golden pumping up everything. They get every card that he had is the most famous card. This card right here
Right.
is the most famous card that you'll ever see. This is only one of two Babe Ruths in this world. So you're constantly,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. It's and I just think we become smarter collectors. Like Steve just said, he wanted a Grand Theft Auto Vice City. There's tons of those.
there's tons of
Eh,
everything
yeah, that's the thing too. So with the Nintendo stuff, there's tons and like, bro, thousands upon thousands of copies of these things. So
sealed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're not rare. Like a sealed game is not rare.
And,
You
and
can
here's the
go
here's the
right.
kicker:
Yeah,
WADA is not putting out pop reports. They had
yeah.
they
I
have
don't know
yet.
if they are now, but they
Well,
weren't at
before
the
they were
time.
not divulging the pop
Correct.
reports, so they were just going ahead and grading willy nilly
Yeah,
and not even letting anybody know how many boxed.
yeah,
I guess they were talking about the one Atari game from the Atari 2600. Let's just say it was a Pac-Man game sealed that
yeah,
sold for like $80,000 because it was just one of the original ones. Come to find out, once that sold on the auction through Heritage, then everybody and their mom started bringing them in sealed, and that price went from 80,000 to
yeah.
1,000 real quick.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely not rare because like I said, you can find them if you dig around. There's plenty of old video game stores, people who have them yard sales or whatever. There are some short print games. Okay, those are actually, there's games that came out late in the Nintendo run that you can look up and they'll tell you even the loose copy there were some dough, let alone graded. But yeah, that stuff is I'm dude, I was like, I let out a big sigh of relief, man, because I was like, that would have been me. Like I looked at a couple copies already. I was like, I'm getting close. Like, nah. I felt it was too expensive in general, let alone getting in a bidding war with something. I'm like, it just didn't click enough for me to get into it, which is weird because I love like the old NES stuff. I love that stuff, man.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Just gotta be careful. Just gotta be
Yeah.
careful. You gotta know that there's a lot of hanky panky going on out there. A lot of people that will do anything and everything to make a buck.
We're gonna get sued if you keep saying
I'm
that.
sorry, AIH. Shout out to you, brother.
There you go.
That's your thing. I don't mean. I just like saying that.
It's a
But
funny word.
yeah, I just hanky
Yeah.
panky's great. But there's a lot of shenanigans, a lot of tomfoolery that's going on in this hobby, and you just have to. The FOMO sometimes gets a hold of us where we think we have to get something, and no matter what, I got to get this before it keeps going up, or
Yeah.
I'll be priced out of it. Just remember, you're never. I mean, you may be priced out of certain things, but for the most part, just take your time, do it right, and don't try to get something that's out of your reach. If
Yeah.
you're gonna do that, do it right, because you're just gonna end up spending a lot of money on something that probably 6 months, a year from now, you'll be like, why the hell did I just spend $8,000 on a Mike Tyson? Same thing, a higher graded one's going for $1,000 now after the lawsuit, is complete.
Yep. Yeah. That oh, Manny is leading the clubhouse in the chat tonight. He says, Tony, you were the kid that wasn't allowed to play the video game as a kid. I was never let you on the sticks. He said Oz gave you the controller that wasn't plugged
You,
in. I
you know
did
what?
see
I
that
didn't think
move.
about that.
That would have
I
been
should.
dope.
I
You
would
should
have
have
been
told
like,
me that I was the other guy.
yeah, yeah. That
That
But
would
you were
have
so
been
in it, yeah, bro. It was quick, dog. Don't act like you were
yeah.
there all day.
No, no, but it was enough to scar me for life, and here we are. So, it
It was
doesn't.
like three. It was Bald Bull, and then it was like Sandman, and then Super Macho Man, and you had to bounce.
Yeah, basically. So, but yeah, to this day, I'm still scarred. And yeah, man, he definitely like if he would have thought of that, he definitely would have gave me the controller that wasn't
Yeah, I
plugged
wasn't.
in.
Yeah,
So,
my bad.
but enough of all that. This weekend, talking about all this stuff, we're gonna this and that. We're still going to the show. Philly show is this weekend,
Yeah,
Saturday,
buddy.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was thinking about trying to sneak over there tomorrow, but it's not gonna happen. They have like they have a sneak peek thing where it's like I think it opens like at 1 in the afternoon or something like that. And then the show opens again like Friday night again for other people. But it's just gonna be Saturday. So I know you're going. Kamish is going. Believe
Rob.
Rob and Ken are coming down from up north, as well as whoever else is going to be there. But what is the people's mailman? What's the mindset going into the show Saturday? You looking for anything? Are you taking trade bait? We're taking some cash. Are we just going to
I'm taking this
hang out?
Zion case full.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to make some money. If
Okay.
I see something there that blows me away, I might make an offer. It's just too close to the national. Um,
Okay.
and plus, I have some other things that I'm working on. So unless I see something that's super rare that's on my list, as far as maybe an Allen Iverson, because we are in Philly,
Yeah.
I'll make a move or try to trade. But just certain things that we always talk about that we've outgrown, that I'll try
Yeah.
to either get trade or just sell straight up cash. So yeah, I'm gonna try to be a wheeler and dealer as opposed to a buyer.
I like that. I like
See
that.
if I can
I like
sneak
that.
on somebody's case and be like, "Excuse me, I got a Zion here. You want to take a look at my stuff?"
I like that. Just be prepared. It's gonna be 70% of comps. Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know what? It's been so long that I had most of this stuff, so I couldn't even tell you what I paid for it. I mean, I could look on eBay, but then I probably have sticker shock to see what I actually did pay for it because it was at
yeah.
the height. So I don't even go by that anymore. I don't know if you remember with the beta on eBay, like you could check.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I looked at my collection 2 days ago, what I paid for it and where it's at now, and I was just
Yeah.
like, I don't, just erase that beta because I don't even want to look at that, bro.
That's why
Let
Steve
me
would.
just go ahead, keep talking. I'm gonna tell you what the
Yeah.
percentage lost is.
Yeah. I remember having that, and I once things started going sideways, like, yeah, I don't need to look at that anymore. I like that though. I haven't seen you take that type of approach at a show because you usually just go a couple bucks in hand,
Yeah.
and then you just make something happen. I was waiting for Steve to pick up on that beta comment. Um, so yeah, I'm interested to see how that turns out for you. I'll have cards with me as well. I always take some cards, whether I end up moving them or not is a totally different story.
Yeah.
I really need to like hone in on a lot of things. Is when I go to the show, I know that what I'm looking for, but sometimes I don't go in with the plan as far as what do I want to do with the stuff that I have, and it kind of like I kind of fly off the like seat of my pants with that stuff because I don't know. I like, oh, I want to trade this, sell this. Yeah, that's great, but you know, I have to look for the right opportunity within the show, and then that things kind of change, and my mindset kind of changes when I'm doing that. But I told you guys I might be sitting down with the old dudes and paging through the binders at some point. I want to start the I want to build that 1956 top set raw.
Yeah.
Doesn't I'm not doing it slabs. It's just a little project that I'd like to do. I told you guys before. I love that the way those guys look. Kamish will be there hitting the four. Kamish says he'll be there hitting the four hockey tables looking for base flyers. There's actually a lot of hockey there. There's more hockey there
Yeah.
than not. I
Well,
off the top of my head, I know there's a guy with two or three tables that just does like all hockey patches. Like I mean,
yeah.
really sick. Like and the hockey patches are crazy, man. Like they're most of the time they're multicolored patches. They're really nice. Those in the not for nothing, but the NASCAR. If you ever see the NASCAR patches,
I've
yo,
never
they're
seen
nice
it.
because they're sponsor stuff. Like it'll be like I'll say like Ford, and then it just
Yeah.
they're really different patches, and they're cool. But
So lifetime. So if anybody does their collection beta, which is pretty cool with eBay, you can see whatever you've purchased.
mm,
Um, so my lifetime, I'm down 41.61%. My collection is down almost
sounds about right.
50%. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah, Steve. That's a mix. So what Steve's talking about here, he said he was in Indiana for a show last week, and trade night's tough when you only PC. You're looking for almost something. That is exactly what happened to me. The one Philly trade night, I did not have a good experience. It wasn't for me. At National, yeah, because there's a lot more people who collect like me. Here, no. It's very for me to like it's like modern heavy, and I'm just not into that. I don't do that part of the hobby where I'm buying lots and stuff like that. Uh, I'm too
So that
scared.
that's when you were crying that day that you called
Yeah,
me up. It was like 9 o'clock, and you
yeah.
literally were like literally crying. I had to talk this guy off the ledge where he was ready to quit Cousins, ready to quit the hobby, ready to go back to collecting NASCAR. And I'm like, dude, just calm down. Calm down. It's gonna be all right. Oz is gonna put your ass on the couch and we're gonna talk about it. Don't
Yeah.
no man, this is bullshit, man. It's trade night,
It's
bro.
wild because it's like I just looking at the room and I'm like this is weird, bro. I was like, it's like dudes are literally going crazy over Lamelo Ball who hasn't done a damn
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's when you start questioning
That's
everything.
what I,
Like,
that's
why
the
am I
thing that
collecting this when
yeah
everybody's talking about that? And
yeah.
I'm never gonna buy that. So
Thank you.
what am I just weirdo here, guy? Or
Yes, that was the root of my frustration because it's like, what is going on? Like, how can everybody on the room be into that? And I'm over here just like, what the heck? Which sometimes that's okay, but there in that instance, I'm just like,
yeah.
this ain't it, man.
Tony was definitely he called me at like first of all, Tony don't call me for shit. But then when he called me up at 9:30 at night coming back from the trade night, I'm like, is he okay? Was there an accident? Does he need me to go, what's cracking? What's good with Tony Tone?
You thought I did a like a major trade or something like
Yeah, I was like, "Wait, what happened? And then he was just like,
that.
uh, I don't know about this stuff anymore."
Yeah, it's strange. No, yeah. So man, he said, no, I don't sit out on the floor with all my cards sitting crisscross applesauce. Uh, I enjoy trade night, but right now just like after having that experience, though, I know I go into it with a little different attitude. I mean, I haven't been back to one since because I probably won't do it at any of these local shows, but at the national for sure because people, it's just a
Oh,
little different scene,
it's going down at the National, baby.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we're gonna have our own trade night, so I'm like, "Oh,
Exactly.
everybody come in and
Listen,
trade to me."
everybody up in here, raise your hand. You could do that, right? You could put your little hand up on the thing, like,
I guess so.
who's
Yeah.
going to the National and who will be there on Friday night? Just raise your hand, do a little, emoji. Who's gonna come to the Wolfpack trade night from 6
Yeah,
to 9 across the street? Got our DJ, got our drinks on, the Splenda in the
sure. Hail
building.
Mary
Hail
coming. So,
Mary.
while you say that though, Steve was saying, he goes, people were getting tired of me asking for only KD and LT, but everybody wanted what was in my case. People were actually getting mad at me. I mean, in that instance, maybe you just sell, but yeah, maybe try
Now,
to.
Steven oh, there he is, Hail Mary. Irish Flyers collector. Is that a what is that? Is that
Irish
a
Fires Collector is going to be missing in action. He is going to be going up north to
he's going to get overcharged on a Gretzky up in good old Canada, eh?
yeah. Hail Mary will be there, and he says he's bringing the brownies
And
and
the
the
Yinglings.
Yinglings. Brownies and Yinglings are the sponsors of National Trade
There
Night,
you go.
Atlantic City for
There
sure.
you go.
They were in full effect, dude. I can't wait for that, man. Like it's where I told you this year's National totally different mindset going into the
Oh, yeah.
show because last year I was looking for card specific. This
Yeah.
year the cards are still going to be there, but I'm really excited about just meeting people, networking,
Yeah.
talking.
People specific.
Yeah, 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 yes, yeah, very much so. Card specific was last year. And I know that I'm still going to be dabbling into the cards, but I was so like all I wanted was
Yeah, bro.
cards,
You were
cards,
like, dude,
cards.
we
Yeah,
walked in there and I'm like trying to soak it all in. And Tony's like,
I
yo,
could
come on,
care
let's
less.
go. Let's go. I'm like, bro, calm down. We just
I was not being distracted by the flashing lights and people throwing stuff and screaming. I was like card focused.
Yeah.
Uh, which maybe now actually the prices should be even better this year. They should be than they were last year. But you know,
Hail Mary is gonna be dressed up like a thickalo, a juggalo, or a gigolo. Which one of
all three. You never know what you're gonna get with Hail Mary, man. That's why he can't come up on
thickalo?
these lives, man. You never know what you're gonna get with that dude. But so yeah, man, we'll see how the show goes. Like I said,
Yeah, the
I'm
show's gonna be
definitely
dope, man. Like I said, I really believe it's gonna be packed. I think we're gonna have to turn people away, but the good thing is we have lobby, so it's gonna be constant flow. So we're gonna take over that hotel. We're ready to let the people, the powers that be, at the hotel. What's the name of the hotel again, Tone?
I forget off the top of my head, but don't
Yeah.
worry. That
Was it the
that
Crown? It wasn't
the
the Crown.
official announcement's coming soon.
Yeah.
So,
Right, 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 right.
but basically, yeah, man, it's gonna be fun, man. No charge. Come on in. The only thing you gotta do is pay for whatever you're drinking over there, which we have nothing to do with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So don't think that the cousins are over here making money on the bar.
No,
We
no,
gotta
no,
be
no.
like so like 100%
Transparent.
transparent. We don't want to be, oh, these guys were running the bar over there, and they turned around and like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, we're gonna have it at the Motel 6 in Rosemont. Sponsored by Guinness. But yeah, brother. So you got anything else, man?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I wanted to say my condolences to Steve Splenda on KD going up and spraining his
yeah,
ankle on a warm up. Now, did he slip? It looked to me like he just stepped
yeah,
on him.
yeah. Speaking of fragile, oh shit, did I
Ooh, snap! He
say
said it, not me.
that? No,
But
yeah. I mean, dude, you go up for a layup, you don't expect the
that's
floor to be
crazy.
wet there.
He
Yeah,
just finally got over to Denver, right? And
yeah.
they just beat. Was it the Luca?
Yes,
Yeah, they went head to head
yeah,
with
yeah.
I forget what damn team
Yeah.
it is. I think ain't it Homeboy's team, Manny's team.
Manny's team is, yeah, Dallas. Yeah, Manny likes those mediocre teams, man. He loves them.
So they call him mediocre Manny, bro.
Yeah, yeah, he loves them. But
Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, right in the
just
middle.
right in the middle, just easing on in, man. Manny says KD is as fragile as Embiid's feelings. Very well played, sir.
You
Very
mean the
well played.
MVP?
Yeah,
Biatch.
for sure. Look at
Yo,
that. Yeah, Manny. Steve says the same week he gets his flawless PSA 9. KD gets hurt in the layup line. Hail Mary says Manny's about to get D Hop, another old washed up receiver for the Cowboys. And we
I'll take
will
him.
definitely enjoy that.
I'll take him on my fantasy team. So this is the card of the week for the eyes.
Let me see what you got there.
So this is the 2005 Bazooka sticker, and we got
Yeah,
my man Allen Iverson. All right, we got Kobe Bryant, we got LeBron James, and we got Amari Stoudemire.
nice. Oh, so we're
I like
doing
this.
card of the week now. I gotta
Yeah, it's
remember that.
card of the
Thanks for
week, bro.
telling me.
Yeah, it's card of the week, bro. This is my
Yeah.
Allen Iverson card of the week.
Okay.
But I thought this was pretty dope because it has, I mean, even Amari Stoudemire is a beast. But you figure a card with Iverson, Kobe, and LeBron can't go wrong.
No, no, you cannot.
I like it.
I like that, brother. But well, so next time we're on the air, we got Monday show. It's better than recorded. But so next Thursday we'll kind of give a little recap of how we did at the show. Hopefully we can make some moves.
Yeah.
I know your boy is gonna be there. That tried to cash you out last time. He is there. He's always buying.
Oh
So
yeah, that
you
dude,
guys,
yo, for real, for real. I mean, at first we was like, yo, who's this guy? Who's he think he is? Blah blah blah.
yeah,
He's phony, he's fake. He's going around like basically flossing, acting like he could buy everybody's table, but he
yeah,
really can. Like,
yeah, yeah,
after I seen him at every goddamn show,
yeah,
across the country, I'm like, yo, this dude's everywhere, dog. You're like, yeah,
yeah,
he's kind of
yeah,
legit.
yeah, for sure,
We
for
were
sure.
questioning that legitimacy, and now it's like, yeah,
Yeah. But all right, brother. Well, with that said, appreciate everybody again in the chat. Thanks for checking us out, man. This is always fun hanging out.
shout out to Debbie. We're gonna make sure we get you that Chase Utley. She
Yeah,
said she
yeah,
couldn't make it. Our girl Debbie from Philly, but she wants us to go ahead and find her one of those beautiful, rare, serial numbered patch auto Chase
yeah.
Utley.
Those patches are sick,
Always chasing
too,
Utley.
man. Yeah, for sure. But like I said, man, let's call it a night. And now I'm gonna go upstairs and listen to more video game drama for your mama.
Yeah, and next week I will have a breakdown of the last 5 games of the Joker, who's a joke, and Embiid, the MVP.
With that said, peace out.
Peace. El Cucuy out.
There you go.